Autumn Johnson for NCAA Digital, and I'm joined by LSU's head coach and Hall of Famer, Kim Mulkey. Coach, we're going to talk about your first year so far with LSU, but first we got to talk about your sideline swag. You've got the best in the coaching game, but it seems like you cranked it up a notch this season. How and why is that?
Well, I can assure you it's not me choosing it. When I got here, a lot of people, of course, I grew up in Louisiana, so a lot of people have kept up with my career and they know that I always want to dress nice. I just think it's professional looking. And this one boutique, Rodeo Boutique, had a bunch of jackets made by Queen of Sparkles, and they just dropped them off at the house and said, "Hey, coach, we want you to wear these." And so I try them on and I wear them. And I think it's just exciting that somebody would care enough to want me to wear their outfits. And I think it's appropriate. We live in a state that's all about, Mardi Gras and brightness and colors and fluff. And so it's not something uncommon that I do this. It just happens to be that, it's down in Louisiana now. I've been dressing like this forever. I just love to get dressed up. I don't get to do it often. See what I'm wearing today? I wear tennis shoes and warm-ups every day.
Yeah, I mean, you come to step every single time on the sidelines. It's always exciting to see. How would you rank your top 3 fits you've worn so far this season?
Well, I don't know that I am qualified to do that because, I'm out of my league when it comes to fashion. But I know a lot of people love the jacket that had the butterflies on it. I wore one in the last game, or at the last game, that had the hearts. I don't know what else I've worn. I've worn some that had the puffy sleeves. Probably my favorite is just the casual look. I had a long sweater that had a tiger in the front and a tiger in the back with blue jeans. And that's probably the one that stands out to me because it's so casual. And I'm more of a casual person if you see me every day. But most people just see me when I'm coaching, and I understand they see the outfits.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Heart Blazer because you had a huge milestone on that night. You became the fastest coach in men's and women's basketball history to get 650 career wins. That is incredible. What's your reaction to this type of pace in wins?
Autumn, I didn't know. I know people don't believe that, but I could not tell you what my career record is. I can tell you the championships we've won and things like that, but I didn't know that until I walked in the locker room after the game and the girls were screaming and hollering, and I looked and they all had the shirts on that said Mulkey 650, and I just hugged them because I didn't realize that. I never was going to be a coach, and to think that I've been able to coach that many great players to help me achieve that many victories is just it's wonderful. You don't do things like that without great players. Coaches might tweak a thing or two during the course of a game. They teach things in practice, but the players are the ones that really get credit for that. And assistant coaches. I've had some wonderful and still have wonderful assistant coaches that really do all the recruiting, and I just come in and help close the deal. But it's a milestone for a lot of people, but for me, it's just another victory because I've been doing it for 38 years as an assistant and as a head coach. And those victories that we had at Louisiana Tech when I was an assistant are as important to me, even though I don't get credit for them. Those are important to me because you feel a part of it. So anything that has happened in my career, I want everybody that helped me achieve it to feel a part of it.
Absolutely. And this is only your first year at LSU, and you've had an immediate impact on this program. It's been the best start since the 06-07 season. LSU has been ranked for 8 straight weeks in the top 25 poll. I mean, how have you changed this program in less than half of a season?
Well, you just have to remember, I inherited 5 seniors, and I'm a firm believer that you need to acknowledge the people who came before you. Some coaches aren't secure in doing that. I inherited 5 seniors. No, they didn't win but 9 games last year, but experience matters. So I thank the staff before me in leaving me something to work with. The excitement comes from winning first. The excitement comes from how you play the game, the product on the floor. And then I think there's a little added bonus there in that I'm from Louisiana. I grew up here. People that haven't seen me in 40 years are now coming to games because they grew up with me. Some don't even really follow women's basketball, but because they know me, they come. But it's not just because of me, it's because of those seniors, and it's because of the product that we're putting on the floor. And the winning certainly helps, but people came back after we lost our second game to Florida Gulf Coast because they appreciated how hard we played. And that's how you build it. And, we understand that we're winning quickly, but I will definitely make people at LSU and in the community understand we lose those seniors and we have to replace them with young players. We may not have the same record next year, but that's how you continue to do it. You recruit good players who help you recruit the next cycle of players.
Let's talk about those players, especially Kayla Pointer, Alexis Morris, a special backcourt duo. What's fun about coaching this duo and then really just this entire group? You guys look like you're just having a lot of fun right now.
Well, for me personally, as a coach, even winning championships at Baylor, I always enjoyed watching the reactions of your players when they experience something for the first time or they experience something that they haven't done. Then it's watching the fans. And it was the same way at Baylor. I was blessed to win championships as a coach and as a student athlete. And so I knew what that felt like. And Baylor did not know what that felt like. And to watch the responses and to watch the excitement and to watch the enthusiasm, it does yourself, it brings joy to you as a coach. And I enjoy watching these kids go, wow, this hard work is really paying off. And then for them to be rewarded when they walk on that floor and see all those fans in the stands, that's the exciting part for me. I'm happy for everyone. I hope we can continue down this path to win enough games to get a postseason bid, and who knows, if we win enough, maybe we'll get to host the first and second rounds.
Absolutely. This whole entire move has been really special for you, especially being back at home. What's been the transition to just be back at home in Louisiana?
Well, I don't know of any coach that's probably made this kind of move. I left a dynasty. I literally left a dynasty. I left a final, I would say a top 5 team. I did not leave the cupboard bare there. I left a team that should win the Big 12 again, should go deep in the NCAA tournament. That's fact. The talent is there. I felt good about that. The sad part for me is all the Lady Bear fans that absolutely appreciated me, took care of my family, my kids. And then I felt terrible because I recruited those young ladies to come to Baylor. And yet at the same time, my mind just kept wrapping itself around the fact that you're at the last third of your career and you can go back to your home state and help revive a program that had been to 5 Final Fours, that has had some of the greatest players to ever play the game at LSU. It's home. You don't have to reacquaint yourself with a community or a state. Everybody knows you, you know everybody. And if I could get my coaches to come with me, I'll do it. And they did. And no, we didn't know that we would do what we're doing this quickly, but we believed that we would get there. And it's been remarkable. I think a lot about how we won the first national championship at Baylor in 5 years. And when we got there, Baylor was at the bottom of the Big 12. And there was no blueprint. There was no book to read on how do you do it that quickly. It just happened. And so there's no blueprint for me to go and say, gosh, I read this and I knew we would do this, because I had something in front of me to show me it could happen in 1 year. No, you just roll your sleeves up, you go to work, and you're thankful that you had something to work with.
Absolutely. I love it, coach. Before I let you go, we got to talk about you as a player because you were a baller. You had elite court vision, you were a facilitator, and you helped Louisiana Tech become the first NCAA women's basketball champs back in 1982. And you rocked the two braided pigtails as well while doing it. What do you remember about that first championship?
Oh, I just remember how exciting it was. I remember the players I played with. We're still friends to this day. You don't ever forget um, wonderful moments in your life. And, when we go to the Final Fours, you will always see the 1982 banner hanging there with Louisiana Tech's name on it. And no one can ever erase those memories or take that away from us. And I've been blessed. I've been blessed to play with some of the greatest, to be coached by some of the greatest, to have assistants that are some of the greatest. And I've just been blessed, and I don't take any of it for granted. I've always been a firm believer in principles and in your values, and you want to be valued. And I just feel like at LSU, it was the time to come back and see if we can do something special before my career is over.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, coach, and good luck the rest of the way this season.
Thank you, Autumn.